old style scoreboards here in Clane. A couple of girls up there, and they're going to be arranging the scores as they go on. Fair play to them. That's their vantage point for the day. It's Seabridge at Celbridge against Raharney, and it is in the AIB Leinster Junior A final for 2020. Delayed a little bit. We're at the end of 2021. They've just had the draws for the 2021 championship in Leinster, but they're not going to start to 2022, if you follow me. But we are here definitely for the final from 2020, and it is in the middle of December in 2021. But it's Celbridge against Raharney, and you will notice, if you know these teams at all, that there is a change in colours because both sides wear blue. So if we can swing over to the left, you will see that Raharney from Westmeath have donned the Westmeath maroon jerseys, but you see the blue scorched there, so they have switched to their county colours. That is Raharney, not far from Mullingar. They have won 7 Westmeath titles in a row, and they are from real hurling country, champions of the hurling championship in Westmeath 11 times from 1913 to 2016. So that's Raharney out there to our left, whereas over to our right you will notice that Celbridge have switched from their traditional blue to their second kit, which is red and black. A bit like UCD, or UCC rather, down in Cork, except they'd have the skull and crossbones across the middle as well. But that is the Celbridge team down to our right. So the best thing is to go to the teams for you. So we will start with the Celbridge team, and you're looking at them there, so I'll go through them first. In goals, it's Rachel Malloy, Laurie McDermott, number 2, Sinead McCabe, 3, 4, Grace Mimna, 5 is Chloe O'Gorman, 6, Roisin Naughton, 7, Anna Gallagher. At midfield, they have Aoife Wright, the captain, number 8, and Ella Copeland, number 9. In the forwards, at number 10, it's Nikki O'Keefe, Niamh McInerney at 11, and Sophie Tynan at 12. She's only 19 years old. And at 13 you have Orla Carraher, and yes, she's a sister of Anna, at number 7. 14 is Rachel O'Reilly, and 15 is Mia Mahan. And they have 4 subs. That's Maeve Gannon, Megan Quinn, Eva Needriscoll, and Roisin Nolan. So that is Celbridge. Let's swing over now to Raharney and pick up their team. In goals they have Anna Weir, and number 2 they've Katie Coleman, 3 Jade McHugh, 4 Mary Garrity, 5 Aisling Keogh, 6 Fiona Levy, 7 Andriana Doyle, and at midfield they have their first joint captain in Laura Doherty at wearing number 8, and 9 is Aoife O'Malley, 10 Maria Kelly, 11 Amy Nee, 12 is Aoife Doherty. She's the other joint captain, and she is the younger sister of Laura. And on the full forward line, you have 2 cores. You have Erin Core at 13, Hannah Core at 15, and in the middle you have Amelia Shaw, and she is the main score getter. She's the free taker. She scored 1-5 in the Westmeath final. The subs for 17 Aisling Doyle, 18 Aoife Boyle, 19 Orla Quinn, 20 Ellen Shaw, 21 Elaine Finn, 22 Maeve Monaghan, 23 Ciara Keogh, and 24 Liz Raleigh, 25 Kiva McAteer, or Quiva McAteer it might be here, 26 Kaylin Raleigh, 27 Niamh Brady, 28 Megan Carroll, 29 Sarah Coleman, and 30 Eva Donoghue. And the referee out in the middle there for this game is Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny. There you go. You now have the teams. It's a little bit, is it drizzly out there? Certainly maybe a very light rain. It's a dull, dank December day here in Clane, as you would expect this time of year. Although we were blessed last Sunday to have beautiful sunshine. But this is more the traditional weather. And there is the Celbridge team. Take a bit of getting used to, because they're usually wearing the blue, of course. Their manager is out there. The manager is Noel McMahon, and he has Porrig Carty with him, and they're going to have a busy day because they're in charge of both Celbridge teams here today. And along with them, by the way, they have Alana O'Sullivan, the physio, and they have Ciara Casey in there as well, helping them out. So I mentioned for the management on the Celbridge side, I'll mention the management on the Raharney side. Their manager, that's them way over on the far side. We're closing in on them now. Their manager has probably left the players to it at this point. and let the captain to do the talking, or the two joint captains, the two Doherty sisters. The manager is Podrick Connaughton, and he has help from Teresa Lynch and Niall Flanagan. Good crowd building around us here in the stand. Just looking around to my left and right here, there's about maybe 100 people here in this tight little stand here in Clane, and they've got a great vantage point here, great facilities at the club here in Clane. And there's your shot of the middle, and no changes, as you can see there. It's all 8s and 9s in the middle as Liz Dempsey prepares to throw the slitter in, and we'll be underway. What she's keeping an eye on, it's the number 2 getting into position. She is now, and here we go, we're off and running. 2020, and a hurl is lost already, or if you want to call it a stick, I'll call it a stick, but it's lost there right at the start, and you can see immediately that this is going to be a very competitive affair, as you would expect. Of course, it's a final. It's the AIB Leinster Junior A final, delayed from 2020. Now been played late in 2021, and you see there the tights being worn. Is that Adriana Doyle over there, and you couldn't really blame her on a day like this. So she is over there fully kitted out, but it is going to be a sideline ball for Celbridge. So if you're just joining us, just to reiterate, it's Celbridge in the red and black, and it's a lovely cut there, good height and distance on it from the number 12, which is Sophie Tynan, and she might get another opportunity, or might be a little bit further out for her, but it's going to be another Celbridge ball. Aoife Wright is there, the number 8, you can see in the shot, so she's available, and it is Tynan again, and another brilliant sideline, and well taken as well. So there's an attack here for Celbridge, and Rachel O'Reilly is trying to get there from the ball played in by Nikki O'Keefe, but it's cleared, but only to Tynan, and the 19-year-old has had 2 goes at sidelines and done them very well. Oh, and she struck that well, but just to the right and just wide, but a golden opportunity there, and you have to say it's wasted because there was no pressure on her at all, and that should have been over the bar, to be fair. Now the puck out from Anna Weir from Raharney in Westmeath. That's why they're wearing the maroon jerseys, Raharney. And that's well kept in actually by Laura Doherty, but it eventually goes out. Usually when teams both change, they both change into county colours, but just to explain again in case you're just joining us, that Raharney have gone to their county colours, but Celbridge have gone to their own second kit, which is red and black. Oh, lovely little take there by Anna Gallagher. Looks for Sophie Tynan, and it breaks. Tynan goes to get it again. Gets her stick to it, but it breaks only for Jade McHugh, the full-back, to clear, and she does that well. Now, can Raharney get their first attack of the game together? Haven't really been beyond this point in the game so far. I don't think they're going to get there just yet, but they do have a sideline. It's taken quite quickly, but it's low and doesn't go too far. And that's well cleared into the middle of the field, but it's well taken in there by Amelia Shaw for Raharney, wearing 14 but out and around the middle, plays it in. It's intercepted by Gallagher, but bursting through now is Maria Kelly. She does brilliantly there, and she gets it to Aoife Doherty, the joint captain, and she puts it in the net for the first score of the game. Brilliant score early on by the joint captain Aoife Doherty. We look at it again. She got a goal in the Westmeath final. She was player of the match as well, and she's got a goal already today. That was from their first attack of the game. Maria Kelly comes in again. She made that one and leaves it off here to the number 2, Katie Coleman, who comes forward and Leaves it off sensibly to Doherty, and she goes from a very difficult angle. Not difficult at all to her. She has started this game on fire. A goal and a point from 2 attacks. Brilliant play. This is a Junior A final, but it's really high standard already in difficult conditions. Credit to both teams here because they have both gone on good attacks, but that was absolutely fabulous there by Aoife Doherty, and as I say, made by Maria Kelly. So Raharney obviously dangerous when they get forward, and they're going forward again. And 3 red and black jerseys around, but they cannot stop, and it's Doherty again going forward, and she's got a second goal, would you believe? 2 goals and a point in a couple of minutes. She is absolutely on fire. 2 goals and a point for Raharney, 2 goals and a point for Doherty. Well, that's shocked Celbridge. Let's see if they can respond. They seem to start the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game really well, but they have found themselves conceding 3 times. Now, what can they do at the back? Because the pressure from the forwards there is making it very difficult for them to get out, and there might be another score on the cards here. And it's going to be a free in, and as you see there, it's number 18 for Raharney, and that's Aoife Boyle. Now, I wasn't given the changes, or didn't get the changes before the game, but that is a change, obviously, in the starting lineup. She hasn't just come in as a sub in the first few minutes, so Aoife Boyle, number 18 from Raharney, is in there. I'll try and work out who isn't in there. I see 11, Amy Nee is in there. 10, Maria Kelly is in there. Aoife Doherty is most definitely in there. So I wonder, is it one of the cores, Erin Core or Hannah Core? But the ball does go over the bar. That's the important thing. Hannah Core is in there wearing 15. And over in the other corner, I think that is Erin Core, who created the second goal, but she has hair going down her back over her number, so I can't see absolutely, but she does look like Hannah Core, and they're both quite small, and they're both on the ball now, and they're both diminutive, really excellent forwards, and they're creating havoc. 2-2 to no score. That's Kelly trying to get the ball up. She gets help from Laura Doherty. Breaks kindly. Could be another score on here, and it's Kelly, but she can't get there. Throws a little dummy, decides to leave it off. And why not when it's Aoife Doherty available? She's been brilliant so far. She's not going to score again from there, surely. No, she's trying to pass that one, I think, but it's actually going over the end line. So she is mortal after all. Quick puck out as Celbridge tried to get things going. But how do you recover from conceding 4 times in a few minutes? And it keeps on coming with Aoife Doherty. Goes to ground, but no free. No idea where the ball is in there, and I'm sure some of them don't either. They're just trying to get a challenge in, and eventually breaks, and it's Celbridge coming away with it. I think that's 13. Is that Orla Carraher who's out around the middle there, and she tries to get it over into the forwards towards Nikki O'Keefe, but it comes straight back, and that is the problem at the minute. Kelly, easily recognizable from the white bandage on her leg and also from the way she's playing. It's an effort from distance, and that's dangerous, but it's well dealt with by the goalkeeper Rachel Malloy. That could easily have dropped into the net. Danger still there from Hannah Core. And here she comes again, Hannah, turning and twisting and driving through and looking for another goal, but she is stopped in the end. The long ball, by the way, that the keeper batted down was from Laura Doherty. This is Aoife Doherty. And the drive now comes in, and again the goalkeeper Rachel Malloy does well to bat it out. She had no chance with the 2 goals, but she has stopped 2 since then, and there is a decision that has gone for Celbridge, and they will certainly welcome that and a little bit of respite. There's the save again. Kept her eye on it well. you get the feeling that Celbridge aren't out of this, though. They did start well, and they obviously do have a lot of good players, but look how sharp Raharney are to the breaking ball. She had no right to get there, but she got there. Left back by Kelly to Coleman. Wearing number 2, but playing well up the pitch. Help here from Aoife O'Malley. She did well to get in there, and this is O'Malley again, and those numbers are quite similar, the 8 and the 9. I hope I haven't got her confused actually with Laura Doherty. I'm just saying that 9 looks extremely like the 8. This is definitely number 9, Ella Copeland for Celbridge, but she doesn't get the decision. To a busy 10 minutes of this game. 10 minutes have passed already, and it's been entertaining stuff. You won't like it if you're from Celbridge, but Raharney have been very, very impressive. And here they come again. And it's Kelly yet again at the middle of it, but Roisin Naughton does well there, the centre half back for Celbridge, to intercept and clear her lines. And look how sharp they are again, Raharney, to get in the breaking ball. They always seem to be first, always seem to be there and very lively, and that's good work again by Doherty. No wonder she was a soaring star in 2017, and in fact she was a Player of the Year nominee that year as well after the success in Croke Park. She's the older of the Doherty sisters. You don't often see 2 sisters as joint captains, but that's what you have in Raharney. Great distance on that puck, and it breaks kindly as well. It was batted down by Kelly and batted down to Amy Nee, and she shoots, but has it gone over? It has just gone inside the post. I thought maybe she'd missed it there, but she hasn't. And again, no real pressure on that. High ball comes in and batted down and put over the bar. All relatively easy. A little bit too easy from a Celbridge point of view, and that's why they find themselves 9 down. Great pulling it in the air there by Anna Gallagher. But it's Raharney who come again. And that's brilliant work yet again by Doherty. She's been so busy there. Tidy that situation up and sends it cross field. Now that's better from Celbridge, getting the tackle in there on Aoife Boyle to turn that over. This is where they need to win the challenges, but look at the tenacity yet again there from Andriana Doyle, the number 7 for Raharney. Now, she was penalised, but that's what you need. You need to get in there and win the dirty ball. Rushing Naughton. Gets good height in that and gets it up the other end of the field for a change. And what can they do? Well, they've Aoife right there, and Aoife looks to drive forward for her team. She's been around quite a while. She won a championship in 2005. There could be a chance here if that breaks kindly to McInerney, but it doesn't, and the goalkeeper Weir gets there first and clears her lines out towards Doyle. But it goes over the line, and Tynan has taken 2 of these over there, so you'd imagine she'll take this one again after she gets the ball out of the fence. .13 minutes gone here in Clane, and Tynan again gets a really good connection to it, but it's brilliantly read in there by Doherty, and she clears her lines. Naughton challenging with Amy Nee. And of course it's Raharney who come away with it there. That's good work, and look how lively Cora is in there. Brilliant to see a little corner forward getting out in front there and leaving the ball off and going for it again, and she does have it again. If she can get this up, there could be trouble. There was definitely a jersey pull there, and the referee spotted that. Free in for Raharney. They lead by 9, so this would make it 10, and it's Amelia Shaw who takes the freeze. Scored 1-5 in the Westmeath final. playing quite deep actually, out around the middle of the field, so that's why she had to come up from there to take this. So she's not playing in the traditional full forward position on the edge of the square, but always available to take the frees, and you would expect that that is now 10 points between the teams. Celbridge have it all to do 14 minutes in. Haven't scored yet. Now the puck out is from Malloy, and it only reaches Kelly, and she goes to ground, and a free will indeed be given for that challenge. Liz Dempsey makes it very clear that there was a trip. So Raharney going extremely well. They only got through the semi-finals against Niamh Breed by a few points. Another point for them. But they have won 7 in a row in Westmeath, and they're now going extremely well in Leinster. And there is the water break now. And that means that Celbridge have not managed to score in the first quarter of the game, and they look a little bit slow and dejected coming over, whereas Raharney, as you can see there in the shot, are delighted. And Kelly there has that bandage on her leg, and she looked to be pulling the leg a little bit, but she's played brilliantly in the first 15 minutes of the game. And it's interesting that Raharney actually have 2 huddles. If you're wondering where the rest of the players are, they have a huddle for the forwards and a huddle for the backs. So that's the huddle for the forwards, and let's swing over and see. There they are. They're away over to the left there. Clever enough, because you can get caught out in these water breaks when they start the game quickly. You don't want to be players to be running 100 yards to get back into position. And down to the left there, you see the Celbridge huddle, and they have all of their players in there. And yes, it has happened where players after the water break have not come out quickly enough, and they have got caught out. So Raharney thinking of everything. Encouragement there from the Celbridge support for the Celbridge players down in front of us to keep going and forget about the scoreboard. Just try and play their game and trying to just get a score on the board. But they are 11 down. And just to remind you, we have a second game on here, and it'll be Raharney in that one as well. Or rather, not Raharney, sorry, St. Ryan in that. It's Celbridge in the second game as well. Not going well for them in this game though. But here's Aoife Wright. Tried to get her hand to that, but it just spilled. That's good work again by Doherty. Just kick it on and get after it. And they are a speedy little team, and she's been brilliant in the first 15-16 minutes of the game, as has Kelly, but that one should be intercepted. That shouldn't be too much difficulty for Gallagher to clear, and she does. It breaks, but first to it is Aisling Keogh, and that is Amelia Shaw, who I mentioned is playing deep, and she certainly is. But here's another chance of it. Such a handful when she goes forward, and she manages to put that just to the left and wide, but she is so nippy in and around there. And if you're a defender in there, you'll be terrified by forwards doing that. Malloy goes high to the right this time, but they're having difficulty with the puck outs. Maybe not this time though, because Tynan has got it. And the 19-year-old trying to drive forward, but hounded down by 2 defenders. One of them being Doyle, and they get it. The clearance comes up into the middle of the field again, and that's number 17 for Celbridge. That's Megan Quinn who's in there actually. I hadn't spotted her heretofore, but maybe she's come on, or maybe she was on from the start, but that is definitely 17, Megan Quinn in there. Rain seems to have gone a bit heavier. It was just a very light drizzle, but it looks like a heavier drizzle now, if we can put it that way, but it is tricky for the players out there. Now this is better, but again, it's the defensive work there by Mary Garrity on this occasion, out in front of her marker and cleared her lines brilliantly. And that's demoralising when you're on a Celbridge, or from a Celbridge point of view, when the ball just comes straight back. A lot of work to get it up there. Amy Nee, number 11, over on that far sideline, and it's Hannah Cord juggling the ball brilliantly. She got 2 goals in the Westmeath final, but today she's more of a creator. Gets it over to Kelly. Kelly, lovely little touch and goes clear, and there's room here. This could be a 3rd goal, and surely it is, and it's put into the net by Erin Core. And dare I say, Celbridge have been rocked to the core by the start that this brilliant Raharney team has made. 3 goals now and 5 points. They are well on their way. This is Gallagher doing well, and the ball sent up the line, but it bounces off the stick of the full forward. That's Rachel O'Reilly, and when things don't go for you, they really don't go for you. That just came off the stick in a way that she didn't want, but obviously there's a lot of drizzle around as well, making conditions difficult to control the ball. So there'll be a bit of dampness on the stick, and it just spun off it, as you saw, went out of play. Just noticing off camera, it looks like Celbridge are playing with a sweeper, or maybe it's just that Raharney are withdrawing their full forward, because Amelia Shaw, as I've mentioned, is playing out the field a bit, so they're winning a lot of ball around the middle, and then they have nippy players in there, so they have the core girls in there, and I think that is the goal scorer Erin, who's actually playing in a full forward position. So that is what they're doing tactically, and it's certainly working for them. It's Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny, the referee, just checking, and I wonder, was that Gallagher who actually just cleared the ball and then went down? And it is actually, she cleared the ball okay, and then seemed to be in a little bit of bother, but she's nodding her head to Liz to say, I'm okay, I'll continue. And it's going to continue with Amelia Shaw, the number 14 for Raharney. She's going to get us underway again. It's a nice touch actually by Quinn, but inevitably the hard work and the tenacity from Raharney gets it back, and the skill as well in there. Look at the hard work to try and get it in there, and that's twice they've tried to get it into the hand and haven't, but they do it the 3rd time of asking through Laura Doherty. She really is a handful in there, and she gets it out now to Core, and she immediately looks up and tries to put it into the other Core, but that's too high for her. So it's going to break, and Kelly really is struggling to get there. She does manage to get there, but she is clearly struggling to move smoothly, and she has that bandage, and she has been limping, and it seems to be getting a bit worse, but she wants to stay on because things are going well in there. There's a tricky one. Oh, nearly ended up in a 4th goal, but you have to say the goalkeeper, Rachel Malloy, there did brilliantly. Saved it twice, but they come at the 3rd time of asking, and it has ended up in the net. It's a 4th goal, and it is all Raharney. Now she's taken a bit of a knock for her troubles, but she has got the ball into the net, and I think it was Aoife Doherty. No, it wasn't Aoife Doherty. I'm trying to see who it is. And she's coming out around the middle of the field. I'll keep an eye on her to see who it was, but I can't just tell at the moment, but it definitely is a 4th goal. And now Maria Kelly is indeed going to have to give way. Injury getting the better of her, but she has contributed richly to the lead, and surely it's a match-winning lead that her team has. So she's played brilliantly. She's going off, but she has done extremely well. And number 23 is on, and that's Ciara Keogh. That's nicely moved on there by Nee. That's smart work, sharp work. O'Malley did well too. And that is slipped out to the goal scorer from just a moment ago, and it is, I'm Trying to see what. No, it might be the number 18. I think it's Aoife Boyle who got the 4th goal. I've just figured it out. The numbers in their backs are very, very similar, the 8s and the 9s, and I thought it was a 10, but of course Maria Kelly was wearing 10. Could be a 5th goal. Never mind all that. She's nipped in there, and surely it is, and it is a 5th goal, and it's Aoife Doherty. She got the 1st and the 2nd. That's a hat-trick of goals now for the joint captain, and she was just really alert in there and really smart and just got a very simple touch to it, and that has been the story of the game. They're so sharp. 5-5 to no score, 23rd minute. That's 20 points to nil, and if you'd watched the first 3 minutes of the game, you wouldn't have believed that there would be a 20 to nil scoreline at this point, but that's what it is. So unlucky and disappointing for Celbridge. 2 teams in the final today. They're in this game and they're in the final directly after it in the Leinster Intermediate Final, which is history for the club. It's the first time that they've been in 2 finals in one weekend. It's a great achievement for the club and a great credit to them. But that, you have to say, is fantastic from Amy O'Malley. They just keep coming and they just keep getting better. It's 5-6 to no score. Malloy goes up the middle. First to it is Aisling Keogh. Simply leaves it off, and the pressure keeps coming. Doherty doesn't get there. It's well defended by the cornerback Grace Mimna. Gets help from Nikki O'Keefe, and they get a free in the end. Don't know if you heard that, but the shout is "Come on, Celbridge." The friends, family and supporters of the club trying to drive their team on in difficult conditions. That's Gallagher just getting it up the field a little bit after drying her stick, or attempting to. 17 is in there. That's Megan Quinn trying to get there, but now it's Rachel O'Reilly going forward, and oh well, that was pinched absolutely beautifully with the ball in the air. Very clever stick work. O'Malley's been superb in the middle of the field. Gets it to Shaw. 14 gets it into the number 14 position, actually number 13 position, 15 position to be fair, and Core goes for it but can't keep it in. That one's gone straight to Boyle. That should be the keeper's rather easily. Lets it go out of play. In fact, if you remember 2 to 3 minutes in, there was a very easy chance for Sophie Tynan to get the first point of the game, and I remember saying that it was a bit of a wasted opportunity because there was no pressure on her, and you wouldn't have thought at that point that they still would be without a score and they would have conceded so much, but the game turned around when Raharney got into their groove. And that's brilliant work again from Doherty to speed away from 2 challenges and a clever ball cross field, and just about everything that Raharney do works out, and it nearly did there again, but it's just tamely going over the line. But you can see the confidence in their play, and they're prepared to try things, and they're sharp, and they just are confident in their teammates and playing the ball across the field like that, and it very nearly worked. And what a catch. That's fantastic work there by Katie Coleman, the number 2, all the way back up there in the forwards, under no pressure, it has to be said, but still a great left-handed catch. This is Naughton, referee holding things up a minute. Looking around to see what the delay is. Yes, there is a change now, and indeed it is Gallagher, who was down getting treatment a minute ago. The number 7 for Celbridge, sadly, is having to go off the field. So whatever the problem was, it hasn't been rectified, and Hannah gets a round of applause. The 22-year-old is sadly not going to have any more part in the game. Sometimes you just get those days, and sometimes they happen rather cruelly in finals. Number 18, Ava Driscoll, is on, and she hasn't gone to a straight swap. She has moved up into the forwards, and they have moved 17, Megan Quinn, back onto Aoife Doherty. And good luck to her with that, because Aoife's been dynamite in the first 28 minutes of this game. Core out in front again, but it's going to drop kindly for Chloe O'Gorman, the 17-year-old. And that's cleared, but only as far as knee. Pressure comes again, but the other core doesn't get to that one. They do get away with it though, and this is the 23. This is Kyo, and she goes forward and gets her strike away, but the referee is going to bring that back, and she's also going to write in her book as well. She's not happy with that chop. And there's the end of it. Again, the shot in the end, but the free had been given just before that, and the challenge had come in from Grace Mimna, and she gets a yellow card for her troubles. Maybe that's a little bit of a sign of the frustration. They just cannot get close. Been a very frustrating first half for Celbridge. No problem for Shaw. No problem for Raharney. She doesn't miss. Ball back in play in the 30th minute of the first half, and taken in the middle of the field. I think that's Tynan who's got it, and yeah, she does well. And there's a player off the shoulder here, and that's Niamh McInerney. This is a chance for them to get a score, and that would be welcome just before half time. And at last they get a score on the board, Celbridge, and they deserve that. And that looks a lot better, well, a little bit better, and surely it has lifted the morale a little bit. They were able to break there, and it was that simple. Now the puck out isn't a good one, and the substitute goes for that, but Eva not able to get there. And look at the work being done by Amelia Shaw way back there in defence. And why not when you've got a couple of speedy forwards? Well, you have more than a couple. You have the cores in there, and then you've got Doherty, the very speedy forwards. So get the ball up to them, let them do the rest. Kira Kyo was in there now, and this is the substitute, and she fires it to the left. Oh, she was looking for that far post. She just missed it, just went to the wrong side of it. But again, the danger there. They're really enjoying themselves out there, and that was nearly number 6. We're in added time in the first half. Malloy puts it high, and look who's there. Mia Mahan is there, the number 15. She's come back to try and help to get the ball up the field. It's probably a good idea, because they just are struggling to get it up there. Serious pressure on Naughton as she's trying to get the ball clear. 2 on her at all times, and now Coleman comes in to get it. Gives it to Doherty. Taken in there by Aoife Wright. They've lost possession again, and there could be a number 6, and it's fired indeed to the net. Super 6 for Raharney in the first half in added time, and let's see it again. Just pulled on it there brilliantly. That's Erin Core, I think it is, who got it in the end. 6-7 to a point. It's Mia Mahan in there, battling hard to try and get her team going. But Shaw gets it back, and eventually it's Chloe O'Gorman, the 17-year-old, who does well. You see the red and black flags in the crowd there on the far side. There's a lot more crowd on this side in the stand, who are taking advantage of the cover in these drizzly dank conditions. Number 3 is up there, Jade McHugh for Raharney. In fact, they've only really got one defender back in their own half, and that's Mary Garrity, playing on the front foot even. And Aisling Keogh there is back as well, so they've now got 2 defenders back there, but their system is working extremely well and their forwards are working extremely well, and that's why they lead a comprehensive display in the first half with some dazzling goals as well. They've just been the sharper team and they deserve to lead at half-time. 6-7 to a point for Raharney. We'll be back at the start of the second half. Referee Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny coming back out for the start of the second half. Has to be said, at half time I noticed quite a stiff breeze actually going from left to right, so it was in favour of Raharney in the first half. It's now in favour of Celbridge. It's asking too much for them, I expect, to win this game, but I see they've brought Orla Carraher out into the middle of the field there. They're going to try and have a go at this, of course, in the second half, but it's Raharney who get it from the start. Sinead McCabe now right in front of us here on the stand side, battling to win it, but most of the exchanges were won in the first half by Raharney, and there you see again tigerish tackling there from Chloe O'Gorman, but it's going to be a sideline ball for Raharney. Claire getting treatment actually down to her right, off camera, coming on camera now. Is that Tynan maybe there getting treatment right at the start of the second half? Must have got some sort of a knock there in the opening exchanges. So if you're just joining us for the start of the second half, it looks extremely one-sided, 6-7 to a point, and it kind of was for most of the half, but you got the feeling as well that Celbridge had more in them. A lot of young players up and coming, and they were rocked by a couple of goals after about the third, fourth, fifth minute of the game. So if they can get going a little bit, they got a point at the end of the half, and if they can get going a bit, maybe we'll have a bit of a closer game. This is O'Gorman going for that, but beaten to it by Hannah Core, and they're just a little bit standoffish, Celbridge, rather than getting stuck in there and getting the balls and getting to it first. Big crowd here in the stand, and difficult to see what the ball is because of the crowd, and there's a pillar there as well, but there it comes back into the play. It's well taken there by number 21 for Raharney, who's come on. That's Elaine Finn. She's getting stuck in there early in the second half, trying to get a score for herself, and there's another sub in there, 22, and that's Maeve Monaghan. So a few switches by Raharney at half time. Core still in there though, causing havoc, and still causing havoc, and puts that one over her shoulder, and that could have dropped in or got deflected in there, but it goes harmlessly wide. Quick puck out from Malloy, trying to get it to Mia Mahan. Doesn't stick though, and Raharney very good at that, just booting the ball on and getting it into the hand. Good work by Orla Carraher, storming forwards, getting it to Boyle. That was better work. There's a substitute on the field. That's 24 for Raharney, and that's Liz Raleigh. So at least 3 changes at half time by Raharney. They're well ahead. They can afford to put on subs this early. Orla Carraher, by the way, the 13 for Celbridge. I noticed in one of her profiles she said her favourite sports person is Anna. That's her sister, Anna. But unfortunately, Anna had to go off injured towards the end of the first half. That is Orla Carraher now with the ball, taken nice and quickly, gives it to Aoife Wright, and she puts it in there. That's the thing to do, get it in as quick as you can, but it's swept up brilliantly by Mary Garrity. She's been the last line of defence, and she's been solid in there. This is the sub, this is Raleigh. And the referee has spotted something in there, way over in the clubhouse corner of the ground, and that will be a free in and a chance for Celbridge to double their score. And it'll be Tynan, I think it is, who's recovered from the knock that she got. Four minutes into the second half, the cry goes up again. Come on, Celbridge. Normally this would be straightforward, but more pressure on it because they're so far behind, and that looks very right actually, and it's too right. It's very difficult to pick off even the easy scores when you're under so much pressure, to be fair. Just looking again at Amelia Shaw, number 14, wearing the Westmeath jerseys, of course, Raharney, but She's pretty much playing in front of the full back line. She's playing that deep. Further upfield, this is Raharney on the attack, but well taken in there by Naughton. Tries to get it to Nikki O'Keefe, but it goes over the sideline. It must have been deflected actually, because it's a Celbridge ball. Well spotted by the lines person on that side. We have a game on after this, also on YouTube. We will go off, of course, but we will come back on. It's Celbridge against St Rynagh's. That's in the AIB Leinster Intermediate Championship final. Again, another 2020 game. Delayed. This is Aoife Wright, the 36-year-old, won a championship in 2005. Captain of Celbridge. Can she lift her team here? Being asked to bring the ball forward to the correct position. No scores for either side in the second half as yet. If you're a coach, you'll usually try to say to your team, let's win the second half. At the minute, it's scoreless. Norton in there does really well to pinch that back. On her left side, tries to get it to McInerney, who scored Celbridge's only point so far. This is Shaw. Amelia's done so much good work in this game. Gets it up towards Aisling Doyle. I think that was 17 over there. No, that's actually 17 for Celbridge. Sorry, that's Megan Quinn. And this is Aoife Doherty. She started it off with 2 goals and a point. The first 2 goals and a point off the game. That set the tone after about 5 minutes. She got a third as well, I think. Joint captain of the team. Doesn't connect too well there though, and Naughton lets the ball slip through. Had help there from Mimna. But Raharney looked to be getting possession. That's good work by Core, taking on the stick well. Midfield has been excellent. Aoife O'Malley on that occasion. This is Hannah Core. Speeds off again, and that's maybe just going to drop to the right. Mightn't actually drop out though, so it's still up for grabs. Work still to be done, and it's gone out. Still no score in the second half. This is Aoife Doherty. Does connect a bit better, but it's going to the right. Chance here of another score, and it is the first score of the second half. And it's a score for Amy Nee, and that makes it 6-8 to a point. That's 26 plays 1. Good work by Nikki O'Keefe for Celbridge though, in the middle of the field, and this is now Mia Mahan. Slips it cleverly to Carragher, and off she goes on a run. And you hear the crowd lifting as the Celbridge players get a little bit of momentum going. Aoife Wright now on her left-hand side and plays it down into the corner. That's sensible play because they have 2 players able to get there. And they eventually get a free from that. And this is a little bit closer than the last one, so you'd imagine, without tempting fate again, that this should be a second point for Celbridge. And you did hear from the little lift in the crowd there that if they got a score or 2, then it would liven things up. That's 19-year-old Sophie Tynan. And after putting the last one to the right, you'd imagine she'd be aiming for the closer post this time. Gets a good strike on it, but it's gone right again. She's actually done the exact same thing again. So in the 40th minute of the game, It's 6-8, plays 1 point. Puck out by Anna Weir for Raharney. But it goes straight to Mia Mahan, and she's trying to get there. She's got company from Laurie McDermott. And it eventually goes wide. Raharney so quick to get to it, even when it looks like a Celbridge ball. They're second best, and they still manage to get there and snuff out the danger. Goalkeeper Anna Weir goes extremely high. At this time of the year, there could be snow on that sort of a ball, but it comes down, and it's very well cleared up into space just in front of us. The race for the ball, and now there's 6-7 players in there battling for it, and it's good work by Aoife Wright trying to get in there, but she's hounded by Amy Nee, and eventually, of course, it's Hannah Core. She's been fantastic in this game. There's always that burst of energy when she gets to the ball, or even when she doesn't get it and manages to kick it away and then gets to it. Bit of room here for Aoife Doherty, and she gets a strike away, and the goalkeeper watches it all the way, and that was a difficult one to watch, but she did it well. Good work by Rachel Malloy. So they haven't conceded any goals in the second half. That's the good news from a Celbridge point of view. Hands go up, and it breaks for Mia Mahan, they're 15, but it's actually Coleman actually who gets it. Amy Nee now for Raharney early in the second half. Well, 11 minutes into the second half, and gets the second point of the second half to make it 6-9. Nice little burst forward, but it was all from good work by Katie Coleman. I was getting her mixed up with Copeland, but it was Coleman who got it, and the point over in the end from Nee. Yet another exchange in there where Raharney come bursting out with the ball, and it's Aoife O'Malley who's been one of the players of the match so far, and it's getting to that stage where we're thinking about players of the match. There is an award at the end for player of the match, so anything I say will be unofficial, but you know yourself from watching it, there's a lot of contenders out there. This is Aoife Boyle, 18. This is 23, that's Kyo. And that's Megan Quinn clearing her lines, but it goes over the sideline. Yeah, so Raharney, as in terms of player of the match, Mary Garrity has played extremely well as the last line of defence. The midfield dynamic duo, Laura Doherty and Aoife O'Malley, have totally dominated in there. Maria Kelly was good until she had to go off injured. Aoife Doherty has been spectacular. Shaw has got through an enormous amount of work, wearing 14 but playing very deep. This is Hannah Core, as if to remind me that don't forget to mention me. Well, Hannah Core and Erin Core have been fabulous. Caused so much danger in there. Erin scored a goal in the semi-final late against Niamh Breed, and Hannah scored 2 goals in the Westmeath final when Raharney clinched their 7th title in a row. Treatment required again though, and this time it's for Megan Quinn from Celbridge. Referee busy writing, not quite sure what though, but it does look like Quinn is coming off, and there's definitely 2 changes for Raharney. They're rolling on more subs. They're ringing off 4 and 9. That's Mary Garrity and Aoife O'Malley, just after I'd named them as contenders for player of the match. They've already done their job, and they've brought on 20 and 22 Raharney. 20 is Ellen Shaw, and 22 is Maeve Monaghan. And a round of applause and an arm around the shoulder as well for O'Malley in particular. Big squad from Raharney, and they're all getting a chance. Amelia Shaw drives it yet again straight over the bar. She has been extremely accurate. And it's now 6-10, plays 1 point. Wright goes for that one and gets stuck in there and does well. The captain for Celbridge, and tries to drive on but isn't able to get there, and it's Raharney, and that's brilliant work there. And that is Elaine Finn in there, really sharp, and gets the ball into hand and tries to leave it off to Core. Doesn't get there, but Core manages to get a hook in, and there's a chance of a score here still. And it's Aoife Boyle in there, but eventually she is penalised. We're at water break time. Second water break, and the Celbridge girls looking very dejected as they stroll over to the sideline to get a drink and a last team talk before the last quarter. To be fair, they've given all they can out there, and they had some expectations, of course, after doing extremely well to get to the final. And just to put that into context, Celbridge are the first Kildare club to have 2 teams in Leinster Championship finals on the same weekend. That's a great achievement by the club. It's not gone their way today, but still a great achievement. And Celbridge later on, their first team will take on St. Rina's, and they'll have quite a lot of the girls from the second team joining them in the subs actually for that game, so they'll have to shake this one off and get back out there and see if they can win the senior final. But that's a tough task as well against St. Rina's from Offaly in the main game, the intermediate game rather, at 2 o'clock. Same management for Celbridge. That's Noel McMahon with Porrig Cardy. Busy day for the management, 2 games. More encouragement from the crowd in the stand here from just down the road in Celbridge to see what they can do in the last quarter. Just looking around to see if there's any more switches. Not sure it was unlimited subs, but if you're one of the big Raharney squad, you'd be hoping so they can all get a bit of a run out, and why not? Naughton gets us back underway for the last quarter of the AIB Leinster Junior A Championship final for 2020, delayed until late 2021. It's good work in there by Chloe O'Gorman, the 17-year-old, and now this is Rachel O'Reilly, the full forward, driving it into the full forward position. And could there be a consolation score here for O'Keefe? And she drops it over the bar, and that is the second score of the game for Celbridge. It doubles their scores, and it is their best score by far. Really well worth it. Get in behind, and that will give them some encouragement. Best move of the game so far by Celbridge. Let's see if it lifts them now. But that is Monaghan who gets to that one quickly. Doherty does everything quickly. Look at the speed. She gets away from her marker and puts it in towards goals. And this is Finn, I think, the 22, or is it? Yeah, it's 21, I think. Yeah, that's Elaine Finn in there. Yeah, she's busy in there, and she's been lively. Amy Nee is in there. Aoife Doherty puts it back in. Good defending from Celbridge though, not giving up, giving everything right until the end in this last quarter. When it looks like all is said and done, they're still giving it. Hasn't been a goal yet in the second half, and there's still not going to be a goal because that was good defending. Ball still there though. Good battling from Celbridge. The message will have been, never mind the scoreboard, just keep going. Coleman in there again for Raharney in an advanced position. We haven't had a score yet. Will it come from the number 2? Well, I think she just sort of got half hooked at the last minute there as she was shaping up for a score. You definitely have to say that Celbridge have stopped the rot in the second half. Oh, that's brilliantly taken though by Amy Nee. Still pressure. Let's see, 23 in there. That's Kira Kyo for Raharney. I think that's Tynan all the way back there clearing as far as Rachel O'Reilly in the middle of the field. And she gets her free. Referee Liz Dempsey having a word with Maeve Monaghan after that challenge, not happy with that at all. That's the second yellow card of the game.
Come on, Celbridge!
6-10 plays 2 points. That's Maeve Monaghan doing well for Raharney. Tynan and Naughton between them doing well to send it back. And that's Monaghan, who's been busy since she came on. Nikki O'Keefe involved again. Aoife Wright, the captain, driving on and losing out on that occasion. '50th minute of the game, and strangely all 6 goals came in the first half. I wonder, will there be a 7th now? 20 minutes into the second half, and that's Doherty, but she will take her point instead, and that will do for them. A well taken score, and it makes it 6-11 to 2 points. Ella Copeland, number 9 for Celbridge, doing well. That's the player I was getting mixed up with Coleman. There's a Coleman and a Copeland on the field, and I wasn't coping with them well. Number 20 there is Ellen Shaw, who came on a few minutes ago to get a run on this final. This is the fullback, Jade McKeown. So there's an Aisling Keogh and a Jade McKeown. Chloe O'Gorman in there battling, but Nee and Core are in there. Brilliant once more from Hannah Core. And ball drops over the sideline, and that will be a Raharney ball. Here they come again, and it's another chance of a goal, and it is a goal, and it is Laura Doherty getting in the act. Her sister got 3 goals, I think, in the first half, and Laura now has got the first goal in the second half. And after winning 7 Westmeath titles in a row, they have now scored 7 goals today. This is Nikki O'Keefe, who got the point a few minutes ago, and challenge coming in there from Boyle, and there's no chance that Celbridge are going to give up the ghost. They're going to keep going right to the end. So it looked like Celbridge had stopped the rot from a goals point of view, but Doherty has just sent that to the net. Good defensive work by Monaghan, I think it is in there. The 22, and that's Katie Coleman clearing her lines, coming up towards Aoife Doherty, but she is getting company from Sinead McCabe. I think that is number 3, and there it is indeed. And Sinead persists and does well. Sends it out towards Mahon, but it's going to go over the line. Third minute. 7-11. Sounds like I'm advertising, but that's actually the score. And are they going to add to it now? This is Coleman again, but she's hooked in there, I think, or got a little bit of a bump anyway, but didn't get it away. And there's room here, and that's Ella Copeland picked out, and she has a little bit of room and sends it into the forwards. And Maeve Gannon is in there, number 16 actually. I didn't notice her coming on, and I'm not sure Raharney did either, because she nearly got in behind. And wouldn't it be nice for Celbridge to get a little goal in there? They would deserve that, and they do come strongly now, because Eva Needriscoll is in there. They still have it. No, they don't anymore. Out it comes. Spills from Doherty's hand, and clash of the ash there, but Doherty persists and gets away, but is blown for overcarrying. You're allowed to take it out of the hands in your own half, so that's exactly what Naughton does. That speeds the game up. But no advantage gained. Oh, nicely taken there. That is Elaine Finn, the substitute, who has looked so lively. She deserves a score, and she might well get one here. Elaine goes with the foot and manages to sneak it in at the far post, and that is the 8th goal of the game, and she gets a special round of applause all for herself, and she deserves it, because that was all her own work. She threatened all through and managed to slide it into the corner with her boot. 8-11 plays 2 points.
Come on, Celbridge!
Mia Mahan does well, gets it to Grace Mimna, clears it down the line looking for O'Keefe. And it's Finn again. And that should be another point. I think that was Boyle over there. It comes off the post actually. And Celbridge can clear their lines, but they give it straight back to Doherty. And it's a strong challenge coming in for O'Gorman, but does well in the end. And that's good work as well by Tynan, and a little bit of room in the middle of the field now. Can she release it? She does, off her left side. That's good work in there. That's really good defensive work by Liz Raleigh, though, to rally her team if they need to be rallied. Well, they don't really, do they? Doherty with a little drop of the shoulder, and Core, and it's exhibition stuff now from Raharney, but O'Gorman comes in with a challenge, and it's an illegal one. Nicely taken with her left hand, and a clear foul. This is Amelia Shaw. She scored from a lot further out and was never going to miss that one. This is Hannah Core. Nicely played, giving it to Maeve Monaghan, and she does the rest. (8-13) plays 2 points. Three minutes left as goalkeeper Malloy sends it out into the middle. Naughton went for that from Celbridge, but it's going to come all the way out to Amelia Shaw. She drives it into the corner, looking for Core, but credit to the defence in there. They've been under so much pressure in there, Chloe O'Gorman and co, and they have stuck to their task, and Sinead McCabe has got a bit of a knock for her troubles, but they have kept going and kept going in difficult circumstances. '59th minute of the game now. And just to remind you, we do have a second stream today. Celbridge in it again against St Rhinus from Offaly. 2 o'clock start, so we'll be on the Leinster YouTube page just before that. That's the AIB Leinster Intermediate Championship final. Really looking forward to that one. Extended treatment here for McCabe. Wonder, is that a bit of cramp? Not sure if she's going to continue though. She's looking towards the sideline, and it looks like they may have to bring Anna Gallagher back on. She is the number 7 you see there in the shot, and she came off at the end of the first half, but she seems to be at least offering to come back on for McCabe. They have a big squad here today. Not so much the second team though. Quite a few of them will join the first team for the next game, and then they will have a huge squad, but not so many on the bench for the second team, as you can understand. We're now in the 60th minute. Finn in there again, and Boyle for Raharney. And that's Tynan nipping in there and getting the decision. Sends it down the field, and it evades the clutches of Aisling Keogh, but it is still a Raharney ball. It's good work by Amelia Shaw, getting it to, well, the general direction of Knee and Finn. And Finn persists and does well, pulls on it on the ground and gets it up as far as Monaghan. And the support here, I think that's Boyle in there looking for a goal right at the end. No, she'd take a point and takes it expertly. In injury time, Raharney increased their score to 8-14.
Come on, Rachel! Come on, Rachel!
This is Niamh McInerney, scorer of one of the Celbridge points, and she's hooked in there brilliantly. And of course it's Aoife Doherty. She has to be the player of the match in helping her team win the AIB Leinster Junior A Championship from 2020. It's been delayed, and Aoife, the joint captain along with her sister Laura, put in a fantastic performance. Started it all with 2 goals and a point, and has finished it there with a nice bit of play as well, a nice bit of skill, and it is certainly Raharney's day. So the celebrations starting already on the pitch, and deservedly so. Well done to the girls from Raharney in Westmeath, not far from Mullingar, and definitely hurling country. Their men's team has won the Westmeath title 11 times, last time in 2016. Raharney have won 7 Westmeath titles in Camogie in a row, and now they are Leinster Junior A champions. Our congratulations go to them. The presentation is going to be way over to the right at the clubhouse end of the ground, if you know your Clane venue. So we are going to break off from the stream. We'll go over and we'll record it and get a few interviews, and we'll play them to you later on the Leinster Camogie Facebook page. But for now, that's our live stream from Clane, the first one of the day. We have another one coming up, Celbridge against St Rhinus in the intermediate final. But for now, it's goodbye.